Hey fam, you ain't ready for this.
It's big money, big cars, big moves. It's Muscletone, brah, there ain't nothing to prove. The best breeds from the States to the outback. Keep your eyes peeled, guaranteed you gon' learn that. Beanstalk, big boss on lock. If a canine was God, it would be this dog. Then Fuji.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Muscletone Bullies, episode 7. Yes, we are already on episode 7, and the reason for it is because I have thrown in episode 6, I believe yesterday. Last night it went on live. It was a video of the Cars on 5th in Naples, which is a big car event that we do every year. And we took King Kong out with us, and pretty much just took him around, let everyone see him, put their hands on him. Something that we do quite often, take King Kong to events to introduce the American Bully to the world, to introduce Muscletone to the world, and to put a positive view on the breed as well, especially with all the things that's going on in the UK at the time. But we've always done that. That's how you build a reputation of breed. Naples is an excellent place to do it. American Bullies are not a cheap dog, especially not a Muscletone Bully. Muscletone Bullies are the most expensive dogs in the American Bully or in the dog world that you could possibly purchase on the average price, obviously. So being around people who are in the financial bracket to afford them is definitely places like LA, Naples, parts of Miami, other places like Monaco, So we take these dogs quite often to these big areas to introduce them to that new market, and it's a great way to market things, So we did that yesterday. It's a beautiful video, actually. It was so much fun because I love cars, and it was all cars and dogs. So it's like down my alley for me, at least. I think you guys would enjoy it, watch it. It's pretty cool footage, and you can see it on YouTube or on my live story on Instagram or Facebook. I think it might have left Facebook, but if you go to my personal page on my Instagram, it should be in my favorites and my stories, or my highlights as they call them. But you can always see, and then later on Magoo and criticize our program for our dogs being unhealthy, as they so call it. And I said it before, always people think they're experts, always people think they know so much, and they base it on it didn't match the confirmation or the way they believe the dog should appear. Couldn't understand how a dog with so much mass, and it's muscle mass. They confuse it with fat very often. They can't seem to figure out the difference. Could live such a long time. And I've had vets make that mistake. I've had vets tell me, some of my first dogs who lived to 19. My first dog Simba lived to 19, and they told me he would die at 7. He's too large for the breed. This breed should not be more than 60 pounds, and my dog was at 128. It was an XL, obviously. So all lies, all made up things based on I don't know what. You could read some articles sometimes that, so again, not very accurate, because I've personally, from my own trials, proved that it was not true. So, but the majority of the part, most people come up with these information based on, I would love me a 918 or a GT2RS. Those are beautiful. All of that stuff. It needs to be athletic. I'm not saying the dog needs to be able to go hunting. I'm not breeding hunting dogs. I'm not saying that the dog has to be able to jump and catch a frisbee 20 feet in the air. I'm not saying any of that. I say the dog has to be very healthy. He should be able to run back and forth, to jump around, and have a little bit of drive in him. And then when I say drive, please don't take it as I'm talking about aggression drive, or attacking other dogs or growling. No. I'm not about that. I know a lot of guys like this. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like it. Is because we breed family dogs, and we want these dogs to go to families. And most of our clients have other dogs, and my dogs need to be able to get along with other dogs. That's very important. So that's number 2. So number 3, as we compare to the exhaust system, which to me the exhaust is the heart of the car. The motor and the exhaust is the heart of the car. It's what brings it to life. The heart of my dogs is everything. How healthy they are is so important. When someone pays me $25,000, $100,000, $1 million for a dog, I can't have the dog die at 4 years old, 5, 6, 8. Even though the lifespan of the American Bully breed is average 8 to 10, I don't think that's an appropriate number. I want to see it go to 12 and up. That's my goal, 12 and up. Really would like to see them all around 15, which it seems to be the proper target goal lately, God willing, of course. Now, of course, you can help accidents. A dog catches a virus that's outside of our control. A car, God forbid, gets hit by a car. Whatever, accidents happen, that's part of life, but I'm talking like genetic health of the dog. Most of us will live as long as we live, not so much because of our diet, not so much because of how much we exercise. Yes, it does help, but mostly because of our genetic composition. So that has a lot to play with it. When a few years back I went to Lebanon to bury my aunt. She had passed away and I was the only one there. And the lady that helped me get around Lebanon to my aunt's stuff and find the church and the burial ground and all of that was a 99-year-old lady, and she lived, last I spoke to her, she was 104. She smoked, she drank 3 pots of coffee every morning. She walked up and down those hills like it was nothing. She could see, she could hear everything. Her genetic coding was unreal. I mean, unreal. But her children had all passed away. Now her sister lived to 105, and her mother lived to 106, and her father lived to 99, but her husband died at 50, and all of her children died between 50 and 70. She was still alive and kicking. So what happened here is an example is that her marriage to her husband lowered the lifespan of her children. Now one of them could have inherited that gene and kept on going. So as an example with my father, my father died young. He's 62 years old on his birthday. My mother died young, but she had a brain aneurysm, so that doesn't really count. But that could happen to anyone. But my dad's heart stopped. He had a heart attack. He had a bad heart at a young age. Although his father lived to 99, and his grandfather's father, lived to 106. So the gene is there. How long will I live? I don't know, because once you bring other genes into the mix, anything can be inherited, and no one knows nothing about what. So I try to keep that gene in, right? And it's not that easy, guys. Everyone thinks it's simple. Oh, just breed this. No. There's so much calculation that comes behind it, and so much work. And I don't have time to sit here and explain it. It's just too long. Maybe one day I'll write a book and explain my formula. To be truthful, I don't want to give it up right now yet. I'm not ready to give it up. But there is a formula to it. And it was not easy to come down to that formula. So that's what we breed for. Aesthetics, functionality, and health. These are the 3 main aspects. Okay, I wouldn't say one is more important than the other, but the first one is a must in our product, or else we don't really have a product. It'd be just like anything else. But the other 2 are just equally as important, because if you have the first one without the other 2, you really don't have a product either. Not a product that I would put my name behind. So that being said, let's move on to the history of Muscletone. So when Magoo left, Mr. Bai had a lot of people in China trying to hate on him, as usual. Anytime someone comes up, oh, you bought an old dog, he's 6, he's this, he's that. And I told Mr. Bai, I said, these guys are all purchasing exotics. Their dogs are dying at 4, 5, and 6. That's why you think your dog is old. I said, your dog is not even halfway through his life yet. Magoo will live a long time. Don't sweat it. And he did. So all of these people who talked about him spending so much on a dog that was at 6 years old, when everybody else was buying around the same number, maybe it's not the exact number, but a couple $100,000 on an exotic dog, those dogs were dying 3 or 4 years old, and they kept getting replacement dogs, and they just disappeared off the face of the earth, and they lost everything. But Mr. Bai is doing wonderful in China, and he's doing very well over there. So, and I'm very happy for him. And it's nice to see that he's taking well care of Magoo as well. It's a really nice thing, We have our disputes and differences on views on things, but I'm happy to see him take care of the dog the way he does. It does bring joy to me. So, that being said, Bean is doing wonderful. He's still open for stud in the UK. He's, still available. Beanstalk, obviously, he's quite a bit young. He's, I think, 5 years old now, 6 years old. He's going to Australia in a couple of months, and he's going to start a new journey. Beanstalk being the most phenomenal producing dog I've ever seen in my life. And now I want to talk a little bit about production today. So, production. And I've been seeing this a lot on social media. Dax changed the game, yes. Was Dax a phenomenal producer? For that era, he was a good producer. Wasn't the best, but he was a good producer. And then let me explain to you producer. Producer is not how many amazing dogs that dogs produced. Producers, what's the percentage of amazing dog a dog produced? How many litters did he have to drop on the ground before he produced a really phenomenal dog? So you have a lot of breeders out there that their dogs have 1,000 offsprings, 1,500 offsprings, 800 offsprings. That is a ridiculous amount. I don't own a dog. Not a single dog. Not Magoo, not Bean, not Kaza, not a single one that has 500 offsprings. Not one. Matter of fact, I don't think 200 or 250 offspring exist even off of Magoo himself when he left. Actually, when he left here, he was at 130 something. So even by now, I don't think he's over 250. So these numbers just tells me that they're just breeding the dog to pretty much anything they could possibly touch in their yard and everywhere else. King Kong lives here. In my yard, I've bred him twice so far. He's going to start his career this year at almost 3 years old, 2.5 years old. So, and the reason for it is because I still wasn't done building the stock I needed for him. But more importantly, I don't need to flood his productions to find that one good dog. I've never had to do that with any of my productions. The reasons my dogs produce, the percentage of production needs to become better and better and better through the generation. The dog should become more consistent in their pool. So Beanstalk, I am not joking when I say there is not a litter he's ever produced that didn't have most of the litter being massively extreme, if not the entire litter. And you can ask people who've bred this to this dog outside of my yard, so you don't take questions from me. You can ask Luke Picard or Colored Bullies in Sweden, or, I mean, there's a list of people. You guys can put a search on Facebook. You guys go ahead and say, hey, who bred Beanstalk? How did you guys, see how he did? And I promise you that every single person will tell you that they were more than impressed, and that if he was available or they could afford to go back to him, they would go back to him. And the reason for it is because of the consistency of his pool. Now, will King Kong be better than Beanstalk? I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping so, because the formula of bringing all the best together into one pool is there. So it should be the case. I know Fuji's a phenomenal producer that Wade has. Phenomenal. I have personally kept 4 of his offsprings before he left here, and I only bred him 2 or 3 times. So pretty much kept everything that I had of him, because he had small litters. My females don't have these huge litters. It's very rare that they do. So when we talk about productions, we talk about good productions. We're talking on the percentage of good productions on top of the over 50 offsprings, and you have 2 offsprings that you can say, wow, or 5. What are you, like 10% at 5? But when you have 40, you're at 8%. And some of them are young pups that are still growing, but I could easily put 30 or 40 out there that would just blow everyone's mind. And a lot of the other ones are just upcoming pups. I'm sure that number will double within the next year alone. So just the puppies growing older so that we can show them off. So that being said, that's what I consider a producer. A dog that has 50 to 80 fully grown productions, and out of the 50 to 80, you should say at least 60 or 65 are phenomenal. That's a producer, okay? So that's what we talk about when we talk productions. I used to be very, very intrigued to prove to myself what I can do. I want to produce the biggest head. We did it. We still have the biggest heads in the world. We've produced dogs with 28-inch heads, and we've produced dogs with 27 3/4, and we're talking about pocket dogs. Not standards, we're talking about dogs 15 inches and below. And our numbers, when we say 15, is literally 15. When we say 14, it's 14. It's like when they show up at our house with a dog and they're telling me he's 14 inches tall, my dog is 15, and their dog towers over mine, which means their dog is over 15. So they're 2 inches off at least from what they had said he was. So, and when we say 27-inch head, we mean a 27-inch head, not a 25 and a quarter or 25 and a half. We mean a 26. When we say 27, we mean a 27. And when we give our weights, we give our average weight. So, like, for example, people always ask me, what does Beanstalk sit at? I said 90 pounds. That's what he sit at. Can he get heavier? Yes, he can get a lot heavier. But then he can't move as well, right? So if you've seen the video of him at Nationals, I dropped him at 88 at Nationals. Same with King Kong. King Kong sits right now 82, 83 pounds easy. And he's 14 inches tall. What was he at Nationals? I think at Nationals he was 78 or 79, So he was a little bit lighter than he is on a daily basis. I want to see his ribs. And a lot of people at nationals, when they looked on the top of King Kong, they saw his wide shoulder, they saw his small waist. They're saying to me, "Oh, I thought he'd have more weight on." I said, "More weight? What does he need weight for? His shoulders are this wide, his rear is this wide, his front is wider than any of your dog's fronts. Doesn't matter if yours looks like a tube. That's not how I judge a dog. I need to be able to see the lines, just like a bodybuilder. You gotta see those ribs." So, and also, I go to shows to compete in the ring. Dog has to be able to move and walk. And even though King Kong is a stubborn butthead and he didn't want to move that day or walk, he just wanted to fight the handler and sniff other dogs' butts. I don't know why he was misbehaving, but every dog has his day, right? Anyhow, so to the point being is I need to see a muscular structure that is got the proper shape. So nothing has changed when Magoo, Kaza, and Bean, and now Beanstalk's leaving. Our vision is still the same. It has been from the beginning. It will always be. And this is the growth of Muscletone. So let's talk a little bit about now Beanstalk, because Beanstalk was the last era. We had Cash and Beanstalk stack off, which was a huge turnout. I know a lot of people talk crap about it. Jeremiah, let me brief you guys on it for those who don't know the story. Jeremiah was going around doing his thing, trying to market his dogs, and he was challenging every dog left and right. And he made the mistake to challenge us because he was challenging Nemesis, who was in the UK. And obviously, we couldn't get Nemesis here at the time for some important reason. Plus, there was COVID going on, still in Europe, so there was really no movement happening at that time. So Ryan came to me, my partner, and when my guys come to me, when Ryan comes to me, they're my brothers. When they come to me, I'm here. He said, "Bro, you gotta shut this guy up." I said, "Bro, I don't want to waste my time." He said, "No, you gotta shut him up." I said, "All right, fine, we'll shut him up." So I put a quick comment on one of the stuff, just left it hanging there, and I walked away. And it came just like I thought. Called me up. He wants to do this. He wants to do that. He's gonna smash me. He's gonna. I said, "Okay, well, I'll tell you what. You want it? That's fine. I'm not gonna make the mistake I gave Khan. Khan became famous doing a stack off of Bean, which I offered him for free, and I did it out of the kindness of my heart because he thought that the video that was taken by his buddies on the first stack off was rigged. So we gave him a second stack off. I even told him, I said, "You don't have to do it because let people talk. It's okay. It's good for you for publicity." "No, you fool! I ain't scared him to do it." And we did it, and the results are on YouTube. We saw what happened when the stack off with Rocco and Bean. It was not even close. And Bean was a small dog compared to Beanstalk. This guy wants to challenge Beanstalk. I said, "All right." So he came here. He brought his, June Williams, which is a wonderful guy, by the way. June did his best, but the obvious was the obvious, and he was an honest man. He gave it to Beanstalk. Everybody gave it to Beanstalk. All the judges that came, all gave it to Beanstalk. So I didn't want a judge. I didn't want a trophy. That was not my plan because I don't like anyone losing. I don't believe in that. I believe that everyone should win. And I thought the commotion was making and the people siding was good for everyone. Nobody needed to really know who was the better dog. It was better if they just kept on talking. When he brought out the measuring tape, when he brought out the trophy, I told him, I said, "You don't want to do that. You're going to destroy your dog's reputation." And he thought I was scared. The same thing Khan thought, that I was scared when I told him at the show, "You don't have to do this." So it's not the case, guys. I ain't scared of nothing because I don't care about losing. I don't believe in losing. I believe what people think is irrelevant. Numbers are the only thing that matter to me. And as long as the money is rolling in and the sales are happening, which I can continue to do, I don't care what the average person's opinion is. This is just an opinion. It's not a fact. So, but when you put two dogs next to each other, you can see it. When you bring a measuring tape, it's close. If they're close and you bring a measuring tape, it's a done deal. And not that you needed the measuring tape that day for the Cash and Beanstalk stack off. You could see it day and night. But I brought it out, and that made things worse. It was not because I wanted him to fail. So a lot of people told him, "Oh, you got set up." You went. No, he didn't get set up. He made out really well. His phone and his cash app was going crazy the whole way till that day, the stack off, and after the stack off. Sure, Beanstalk got a little bit better and did a record sale for the most amount of money ever a dog sold for after that day, but I would have gotten to that without the stack off. I just pretty much allowed Jeremiah and Cash to piggyback on that journey. And it was good for everyone, including, guys, this is something no one has thought about, The entire community, all of you guys who are in the bully world, that was good for all of you. And the reason it was good for all of you is because it's real estate. The stock goes up. If you guys know how anything works in life, if your neighbor's house sells for 3 times what the house was worth, your house is now worth more money. Okay? Even though it could be a different builder, your house is now worth more money because your neighbor sold his house for more than he had purchased it for, you purchased yours for. And that's the same case in the bully world. When bullies sell for a lot of money, it brings the stock of the bully dog, all the bullies up. Does Muscletone go up a little bit higher than the others? Sure. Why? It does. And so it should. We're doing the work. But all American bullies go up. It's good for everyone, and especially those who have Muscletone in their bloodline or in their pedigrees, who are breeding to Muscletone, or breeding to Beanstalk, or breeding to King Kong. They're investing in a higher stock. So not only are they getting the production they want, they're getting the results they want, they're getting that more extremeness and that more wow factor than any other dog could possibly give them or any bloodline could give them, but as well as they're getting a higher stock value to their dogs and health to their dogs. So it's like a win all the way around, and that's the image that most these guys that are stuck so into themselves and so kennel blind that they cannot see. And yes, I'm sitting here telling you guys this is Muscletone, so for a lot of the guys saying, oh, well, you're Muscletone, of course, it's not talk, guys. You could just go back and look at the history. Look what I'm telling you, it's all factual. Videos are there, measurements are there, numbers are there, everything's recorded. Everything is part of history. It's not he say, she say, it's facts. So, unlike what I see on the internet, oh, this dog is this and this dog is that, and he has the most this, there's no fact presented. None. We've shown facts. They, for crying out loud, NBC, I don't know how they got it, but they had my bank account statements. They had my information blurred out, but they had the numbers and balance posted. I don't know who leaked that information, but it was there, and I wasn't against it because I was like, at least it proves that, I didn't make it up, right? So, at the end of it, everything around you shows what it is, okay? So when I hear these guys very often, they're like, oh, well, I sell the most amount of studs in the world. My dog sells $4 million worth of stud fees a year. And I'm like, but you're driving a $3,000 minivan. Can't you buy a better vehicle so that your dog doesn't have a heart attack in the car when you're going down the trip? It doesn't make sense, So these things you have to pay attention to, guys. You have to pay attention to. You cannot be doing something and bragging about it, but yet can't seem to have improved anything else in your life. Because if your dogs are bringing you that kind of income, your life should be improving as well. Or else, why are you doing it? Why are you spending so much time on these dogs if you're not improving your quality of life and your family's quality of life and your circle's quality of life? The point is to go up. Better stock, better income, better life for everyone. So this is what we focus on. We focus on improving the big picture, the one that most of the smaller breeders are not seeing, but I want you guys to see it so that you can all be on board, so that we all grow together. You guys have to stop looking at the small picture. Oh, my dog is better than your dog. No. What is my dog lacking? You have to be able to see it. What is my dog lacking? I need to go get it here. I need to go get it there. Might be from me, might be from someone else. I don't know. Every dog is different. We do have the most complete dog, so most likely we probably have what you need. In some cases, you might be looking for something we don't carry. I don't know what it is, but in some, maybe Merle, for example. I don't have Merles. If that's what you're looking for, I don't have what you want, So that's just an example. Or some guy called me the other day talking about hairless bullies. I have nothing against what you guys do. This is your business. I don't give my opinion on it, but I don't have hairless bullies. I'm not going to have hairless bullies. So I wouldn't have what you want. You'd have to go to him or someone else. So there are certain things in that aspect. It depends on your vision. But you have to look at what you have, and you have to be able to see the vision past that. The other thing a lot of people need to get out of is stop this mentality of looking for the smallest fault in every dog you see. If the dog is not handicapped, if he's a healthy specimen and he's wild, you might want to use him. Every dog has faults. There's no such thing as a perfect dog. I've never seen a perfect dog. Okay, I don't want to break any dogs out there that are very famous that people claim they're perfect down, because I don't like breaking other people's dogs down publicly. If they come to me, I'll tell them, but I don't like to do it publicly. But no dog is perfect. No dog. It never exists. No human is perfect. No tree is perfect. No bird is perfect. No animal is perfect. Nothing is perfect but the Lord. God made us this way. That's why we're beneath Him, because we're not perfect and He is. So don't think an unperfect human is going to make a perfect dog. That's not going to happen. The point is to make a wild, healthy, functional dog. That you can do. So that's the plan. That's the concentration on it. And then when you get bored or when you get to reach a level, you're like, what can I improve? What can I improve? You want to keep improving. It's that drive as humans that allowed us to build pyramids and Rome and Greece and New York City and Tokyo. It's those drive and wanting to keep growing as mankind always wants to improve things. They always want to go above what they've already done. That drive that God gave us is what strives us to grow, live, and enjoy life. And it's a wonderful feeling. I love it. Like to be up, like I have a goal. I'm going to get it. I'm going to work for it. I'm going to achieve it. You need that goal in your head. You have to have that drive to get where you need to get in life. So today's episode was based upon that. So now that Beanstalk is going to Australia is going to be booming. And Jamie and Aaron Brown, phenomenal people. Probably one of my most promising partners as in the empire that is going to build over there. Australia is very difficult to ship to. I don't want to ever have to do it again. Once these dogs are gone, listen, Australia, don't call me. Just call Jamie, guys. You're in New Zealand, don't call me. You're in Japan, go to my partner in Japan or go to Jamie. Don't call me because I don't want to ship dogs anymore. That's just, it's not worth it. We don't make enough dogs to have to sit on these dogs that long to ship them to you. Jamie's there to handle the whole market. I don't care if it's semen, I don't care if it's whatever it is. Okay, Jamie's handling that area. And the reason I'm saying this to you guys is he's going to change that region of the world because that region is lacking a lot. And he's about to have everything in one shop. Everything. From extremes to micros, even Merles, which I don't do. He has a Merle Beanstalk son that's back there that is unreal massive. That was my breeding was a breeding that Jamie himself did with Nicholas Brown. Beautiful Beanstalk son. He has a Merle, Brindle Merle, whatever that color is called. I'm not familiar with these colors. But he has the whole market covered. And he's going to handle that, and it's going to be a big, big movement over there. So I'm very happy about it. That excites me to see Australia grow with the Muscletone name behind it. Japan's working its way up there. Our partner in Japan was a phenomenal Yuki breeding. I don't know if you guys have seen it. His keeper male is just unreal. The whole litter is unreal. So you guys can follow it. Also, it's Muscletone Bullies Japan on Instagram. And again, once more, follow us on YouTube, Muscletone Bullies episodes. So this is episode 7. Share it, guys, so everyone can watch it. And stay on our YouTube channel for we launch videos every now and then that you guys don't know about. And we take you guys on journeys with us. See you guys next Monday for the next episode.
It would be this dog, then Fuji, a movie, bad with the bougie, dressed in designer, collar or Gucci.